come here,
Oh
racist.
my God! It is episode 32 of the Keep on Trucking podcast. Yeah. Now, look, my baby girl came to visit me, and she made a little Keep on Trucking tote bag. Very cute. Dude, she came to visit me, and we stayed in a hotel, and your boy enjoyed a bed. Your boy enjoyed a full bed. I mean, she still sleeps the same. So, which means no matter how big the bed is, she's pushing me off. But that's besides the point. I had a great time. I slept like 12 hours every day she was here. And, yeah, maybe the van isn't optimal for sleeping. Maybe the noise outside isn't optimal for sleeping. But, I mean, I still sleep a lot. Your boy could sleep through that. Do you hear that? Through whatever it is. Yo, I locked my keys in my van, and when you lock your keys in your van, when you lock your keys in your house, and your house happens to be a van, you call AAA. So, dude, I called the AAA guy, and I was like, whatever, dude. Like, you know, he's gonna think it's a work van. He's gonna think I just, like, you know, that there's a lot of warehouses by here. He's gonna think that I'm, you know, it's my job van. You know, because I don't want anybody to know that I live here. I want to be as low key as possible. And hold up, you Frankie, you idiot. And then I'm over here uploading this shit on YouTube. I'm like, I want to be as low key. And then I'm like, it's the Keep on Trucking podcast in the van. Anyways, dude, real people, like real life people. I want them, people walking by every day. I don't want anybody to know that I'm here. Anyway, so I call the AAA guy, right? And like, you know, like he comes in a tow truck, and immediately I'm like, no, I don't need it to go anywhere. Like, you know, I want my van to stay here. And he was like, no, I know, you know, it's just my vehicle. And then, so he goes to open my door. He has a little, you know, it's like a little thing that you pump air to it. It looks like what people wear on their, to check their blood pressure. Remember at Walmart when you would check your blood pressure? Dude, I would always do that shit as a little kid. I stick my hand in there, and then like it would just like squeeze my arm, and I'd be like, ooh. Anyways, so it's one of those. So he slides it in between my door and my van, and then he goes, and then while he's doing that, he's like making small talk with me. He was like, "What? Like, hey, you live here or something?" And I'm like, "Whoa, like you live here?" And I was like, I pretended to be offended. I was like, nah, like, what are you? I was like, what are you, fucking crazy? I was like, I don't live here, dude. And he's like, oh, it's because it's all covered up from the front. You know, you got like a curtain thing. And then I told him, I don't want anybody to see my tools or anything. And he's like, oh, I was like, yeah, all right. And I was like, yeah, like it broke off the cage. And then he sticks the hook in to like pop it open. And then when he pops it open, my curtain falls. And then you just see like my bed in the back. And I'm just like, oh, I don't say anything, bro. I was like, oh, hi. And then I give him, I was like, here's a tip, dude. And he was like, all right. And I gave him the tip, and like he left. And it was very embarrassing. But you know what was even more embarrassing? That your boy's a fucking idiot, dude. I got my keys stuck in here again 3 days later. So I'm like, dude, I'm already beating myself up about it. I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking idiot, dude. I can't believe I locked my keys in here. You know, everything you call yourself. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous, man. Whatever. So here I go. I call AAA again. I'm calling it. I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, you know, yellow van, fucking on this street, blah blah blah. And call AAA. And then like after I call, it says like it's gonna be here in an hour. So I'm just like waiting. And then I'm like, dude, what if the same guy comes? You know, like what if the same fucking guy comes that I told that I didn't live here, popped it open, saw my bed, and then I'm here, and then I'm like, dude, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? So I'm waiting, dude, and then sure enough, dude, fucking black tow truck. I'm like, oh god, and then like, he gets off and like. I'm pretty sure it's on the description, yellow van. So he gets off and he goes, yo. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm like, haha, I gotta stop drinking, you know? Ooh, this is crazy. And he was like, you're parked in the same spot. And I was like, yeah, well, I live right here. And I pointed, and then I don't even know where the fuck I was pointing. I just pointed, and then we both looked, and I just pointed at a warehouse. I'm like, I live right here. And then it's just like some warehouse with like trucks and like very industrial. And he's like, all right, man, all right. He's like, well, you gotta be careful, you gotta be safe over here, blah, 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 this and that. No, dude, when he was saying like, oh, you gotta be careful, blah, 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 I was like, is he gonna come and fucking rob me? You know, but it's been a week since that happened, so he hasn't robbed me yet. But if somebody does rob me and it's a tow truck, I know who it is. Me and Alex Mahoney, we low-key been walking around the city, and I don't want to say him mostly, crazy fucking white dude. It's like, he goes, hey, we should climb up one of these buildings. And I'm like, I don't want to be a bitch. So I'm like, yeah. And if you don't remember the parkour video, how I got this scar? How do you think I got the scars? How I got this scar was the exact same way. It was my homies going like, we should do parkour. So now it's 5 years later, dude. I'm 26 years old, and I'm still going, yeah. Let's climb up buildings in New York City. Fucking Alex goes, hey, we should climb up some of these buildings, and I'm like, yeah. And then so there's a building, and then I'm like, yeah, surely, dude, we're gonna walk inside. The door guy's gonna be like, hey, you guys live here? And we're gonna say no. We're gonna leave, and I'm gonna be like, oh, Alex, that was crazy, man. Let's go have a coffee. So that's what I think is gonna happen. We walk in. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't want to fucking sneak into anywhere, dude. I'm not a fucking crazy person. We like walk in. I look at the door guy, doesn't say anything, and I'm like, oh. And we get in the elevator, and Alex goes, ah. And then he pushes like the top floor, which is like 50 stories high. It takes us up to the top floor. We get up there, and then I'm like, yeah, dude, sure, like it's gonna be locked. It's gonna be locked. Like, and then like, the door says roof access. We go, and then I go, yeah, dude. I fucking, you know, I open it, I twist it, and it opens. And then we're like in some like storage room with like, you know, like the metal stairs, you know, the ones that aren't aesthetic, the ones that aren't for people, the ones that are only for the blue collar people, they're there. So I'm like, oh fuck, dude. So like we're like walking up those stairs, and there's another door, which for sure it's locked, right? The door to the roof, for sure it's locked. We go, wait. Open, dude. Open. Alex is like, oh. Alex goes, oh, let's go. And I'm like, oh. So now we're like, if you know anything about your boy, is I'm terrified of heights, dude. I'm scared of heights. So we get up there, and then I'm like, oh shit. And it's like beautiful. It's a beautiful view, dude. It's amazing, the view we have up there. And I'm like, whoa, this is beautiful. Now, for me, I'm like, cool, we're in the roof. It's a beautiful, like what's it called? A skyline view? I guess so. I don't know. English is my 8th language. It's a skyline view. I don't speak any languages. I barely speak Spanish, and I barely speak English. Your boy's dyslexic. For $3 a month, you can help Frankie learn how to speak. Anyways. Dude, so I think it's a skyline. Anyways, it's like beautiful, dude. We're like, oh my god, dude. Like just looking around. And there's a water tower up there. There's a water tower with the ladder that goes all the way up the water tower, and you could be on the roof of the water tower on top of this fucking tall ass building. And then Alex goes, this is Alex for everything. Whenever something good happens to Alex, he goes, oh, let's go. So he goes, oh, let's go. And then he walks to the water tower, and then like, you know, like there's like a cage around the like ladders that you're supposed to like unlock. I'm like, dude, it's locked. And I fucking pull it, and the cage is open. Oh, let's go. And Alex just starts climbing up. And then I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like, yo, I'm not going up there with you because I'm already scared that I'm up here, and that's fucking like 50 feet taller. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. And it doesn't look safe. And Alex like going up, and then so he climbs all the way up. And then he's on top of the water tower, and I'm like just like kind of in the bottom, like hanging out, like looking around, just enjoying the view. And then I call Alex. I'm like, yo, like, is it beautiful? Alex goes, dude, yo, like oh my god, it's beautiful. He's like, I'll take some pictures and I'll send them to you. And I was like, all right. So at this point, I'm feeling like a bitch, dude. I'm like, nah, dude, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna go up there. So I started climbing the ladder. I started climbing the ladder, dude. When I tell you that I don't even get halfway up of it, like, and dude, I start getting dizzy. This is the first time in my life that I've been crippled by fear. Like, I knew I was scared of heights, but I've been on roller coasters and then they were fun. But dude, I got up like, I don't know what it was, but I legitimately got dizzy. I don't know if it was because I was scared. I don't know if I got vitiligo. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't know if I got vitiligo halfway up, dude. But I was like, oh shit, fuck this, dude. And I just like climbed back down, and I just had to sit there and wait for Alex to come back. But I'm gonna tell him to send me the pictures, because I got some pictures and videos of the little skyline, but this fool, I think he got better ones because he was a little taller, a little higher than I was. And then we get down, like nothing, like you would think it would be harder to fucking get because I think they charge like $100, right, to like, well, I guess it's the Empire State Building to go up there and enjoy the view. But I don't know, dude. I'm not encouraging walking into random buildings and going to the roof, but it was an incredible, amazing view. I just made this my own coffee. Oh, dude, it tastes like shit. It's like I don't know. I just poured like a bunch of Folgers into the cup and then some water, and then I mean it gets me up. I don't drink coffee for the taste. Spending too much fucking money on coffee, dude. I went to this I went to this coffee shop. No, I went to this coffee shop, and I go to it a lot, I guess. Like they already know me when I go. So I walk in, and the guy goes, "Oh, you want a cold brew, iced Americano? You want an iced Americano?" I'm like, yeah, for sure, dude. So then he puts in the thing, like boop 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 boop, and then he goes to go make it. And then I'm just sitting there, and then it says like the total was like fucking like $4, and I'm like, oh, like let me just Apple Pay with this. So with my phone I go beep, and then I Apple Pay, and the guy comes back with the coffee, and he goes, here you go. And then like he kind of looks at the screen like a little confused, and I'm like, I want to go, like I already paid, but I'm kind of like hesitating. I'm like, oh, I already, and then he goes, you know what? It's on the house. It's on me. And I'm such a bitch, dude. I didn't want to be like, nah, like I already. You know, like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Like, I just have social anxiety. Oh no, I already paid, dude. Like no, like. So now I'm shy every time I go, because I think that they thought I was insinuating I wanted a free coffee. I saw a guy fall down on a bike. Dude, I was handing out flyers for a comedy show. And I was being ignored. I was like, yeah, free comedy show. People were just walking by me. I was like, free comedy show. And then this guy goes in a bike and he fucking eats shit, dude. And like a crowd kind of stops, and like they can kind of like gather around him. And like I walked. He was fine. And then I walked like by him, and I looked through the people, and I was like, hey guys, free comedy show. And I got a little laugh on the street. And I was like, ooh, I'm a street stand-up comedian. I was like, ooh, I'm Aaron Chase. Aaron Chase is my friend who used to do stand-up comedy on the street. 13 minutes, dude. 13 minutes. You know, I'm going to end it right there. Dude, next week, alright, the next 2 episodes, I'm going to have some sick-ass homies on the podcast. It's going to be this shit. I've been having some pretty cool friends on. But I'm going to end it right here, man. Fucking sick-ass tote bag. Oh, I'm going to try to make some stickers, dude. But this is it. This is the episode. Fucking thanks for checking in on me. This has been episode 32 of the Keep on Trucking podcast. Yeah.